It's great to have you all here, and welcome to this very special episode. Today, we're journeying into the heart of a place in Japan that is famous throughout the world, the Aokigahara forest. But we won't just be exploring its mysteries. We'll be exploring the stories and beliefs that surround it. Our tale follows Maria, a 17-year-old exchange student from the Philippines whose culture taught her that life is a sacred gift to be shared with family and community. And Sota, a young Japanese boy who finds himself lost in a world of ancient samurai beliefs about honor and sacrifice. When Sota disappears into the silent woods, Maria must use her own cultural wisdom to find him. Her journey is a profound exploration of two very different worlds, of family, community, and the silent strength found in a shared understanding. This isn't just a story about a forest, it's a story about the deep roots of our beliefs and how they can guide us, even in the darkest of places. You are sitting by a window on a quiet evening. The sounds of the city are distant, and the moonlight casts a soft, pearly glow on your lap. In your hands is an old notebook. Its cover is a faded, worn leather, and the pages are yellowed with the passage of time. You can feel the weight of its history, a whisper of countless stories held within its brittle binding. As you gently turn the pages, the faint, dusty smell of old paper rises to meet you, a scent that carries memories of places and feelings you've never known. This book has been passed down for many years, a silent witness to a moment in time, and inside, the delicate, careful handwriting tells a story. It's the story of a young girl who once traveled across the vast blue ocean to the land of the rising sun. A girl who carried her own hopes and beliefs with her, searching for something more than just an adventure. And in that search, she found a tale that would change her life forever. A story that began not with a bang, but with a quiet, unsettling silence, the kind of silence that holds 1,000 secrets about honor, duty, and the true meaning of a family. Maria's new life began on a crisp autumn day in a small, peaceful town nestled at the foot of Mount Fuji in Yamanashi Prefecture, Japan. At 17, she had traveled all the way from the Philippines as an exchange student, filled with a deep curiosity about Japanese culture and an open heart ready for new experiences. Her new home was a modern Japanese-style house, a place of clean lines and simple beauty, complete with a beautifully raked stone garden that always seemed to be in a state of quiet meditation. Maria loved the garden, the way each stone and pattern of sand seemed to tell a silent story of endurance and tranquility, a concept that was both new and familiar to her. The family she joined was led by Ayako, a kind but often reserved single mother who worked as a local tour guide, guiding visitors through the natural wonders of the area. Ayako was warm, but a certain melancholy seemed to linger around her, like a faint perfume. She had 2 children. The eldest, Kana, was a psychology student in Tokyo, wise beyond her years and always observing her family with a concerned, watchful gaze. The youngest was Sota, a quiet, introspective 16-year-old boy who seemed to live in his own world. He was consumed by a singular passion, the history of the samurai. Maria and Sota found a connection through their shared love of storytelling. In the evenings, while Ayako was busy and Kana was away at school, Maria would share tales of Filipino folklore, of mythical creatures, and the vibrant community life of her homeland. She spoke of the concept of bayanihan, the spirit of communal unity, where an entire community would come together to help someone in need, like moving a house. In return, Sota would open up, his shy demeanor falling away as he spoke of the samurai. His eyes would light up as he talked about their code of honor, bushido, their duty, and the ultimate act of seppuku, a ritual suicide to preserve one's dignity and avoid shame. For Sota, this was the highest form of courage and responsibility, a way to show you were in control of your own destiny, even in failure. Maria, however, found this concept deeply difficult to grasp. Her culture viewed life as a sacred gift, and community support was the first and most important response to hardship. The idea of choosing death for honor felt alien and heartbreaking to her. She believed that true strength was in enduring and seeking help, a concept known as pakikipa kapwa, or sharing oneself with others. The pressure in the house began to build slowly but steadily. Ayako, like many Japanese parents, wanted Sota to excel academically and get into a prestigious university. She would often leave university brochures on his desk, silently pushing him toward a future she envisioned for him. But Sota's world was 1,000 years in the past, filled with the ideals of feudal Japan. The more Ayako pushed, the more Sota retreated into his books and his notebook, which was filled with his own stories and intricate drawings of samurai warriors. Their clashing dreams created a palpable tension, a quiet storm brewing beneath the surface of their peaceful home. Sota's stress grew into a dangerous fascination with the Aokigahara forest. He started to see it not just as a place of sadness, but as a sacred place, a final refuge. He would talk about the forest's ancient roots, its connection to the gods, or kami, and how it was a place where one could find peace from the burdens of modern life. For him, the forest was becoming less of a place and more of a symbol of escape and ultimate peace. Maria tried to talk to him about it, but he would only say, "You don't understand, Maria. It's about honor. It's about taking responsibility for your failures. That is our way." One morning, Sota and Maria had planned to go to the forest together for a school project on its history and myths. But the night before, a heated argument had erupted between Sota and Ayako. "Your obsession with these old stories is holding you back," Ayako had cried, her voice cracking with a mixture of fear and frustration. "This isn't the past, Sota. You have a future. You must show gaman, endurance, and succeed for us." Sota had simply stared at her with a blank, hurt expression before storming to his room. The next morning, he was gone. He had vanished without a word, taking only his notebook. His disappearance left a heavy silence, a void filled with worry and unspoken fears. Maria, knowing Sota's fascination with the forest, was the first to realize where he had gone. Maria knew she had to find him. Kana, Sota's older sister, immediately agreed to join her. As a psychology student, she understood the weight of Sota's words better than anyone and was deeply worried. Together, they embarked on their search. As they entered the forest, the outside world seemed to vanish completely. The thick fog clung to the ancient trees, their branches twisting into strange, gnarled shapes. The air was heavy with a profound silence, a silence so complete it felt like a presence itself. Maria was initially apprehensive, but as they walked, she began to feel a sense of reverence. She recalled the Filipino belief in ancestral spirits, Anito, who watch over the living, and she felt a connection to the Shinto belief that forests are sacred homes for spirits, kami. The forest wasn't just a place of death, it was a living, breathing entity, full of hidden life and ancient stories. She thought of a Filipino saying, "Ang hindi lumingon sa pinanggalinan ay hindi makakarati sa paroronan." He who does not look back at where he came from will not reach his destination. She felt that Sota was looking too far back and getting lost. They soon encountered a local guide patrolling the area. The guide, a weathered man with kind eyes, told them that Aokigahara was a place of tragedy, yes, but it was also a place where people came to find a kind of peace, not just to die. He spoke of the forest as a place of transformation, a place where one could finally let go of their burdens. His words reframed Maria's perspective, making her realize that the Japanese view on death and spirituality was far more complex and nuanced than she had first thought. Following Sota's trail, they finally found him in a small, quiet clearing. He was sitting alone, his notebook open on his lap, a look of profound confusion on his face. He wasn't in immediate danger. He was lost in thought, wrestling with his inner demons. Kana rushed to him, her voice filled with relief. "Sota, thank goodness you're safe," she cried. Maria, however, approached slowly. "Sota, let's go home," she said, her voice gentle and full of understanding. Sota confessed that he felt like a failed samurai. He couldn't meet his family's high expectations and felt that ending his life was the only way to reclaim his honor. Maria listened patiently, her heart aching for him. Then she shared her own beliefs. She spoke of her culture's emphasis on community and how the family is a safety net. She explained that true honor doesn't come from abandoning a struggle, but from facing it head-on with the support of the people who love you. She spoke of the Bayanihan spirit in the Philippines, where the entire community comes together to help someone move their house, a beautiful symbol of collective strength. She told him that a true warrior's honor is not in a final, lone act, but in the courage to live and fight another day, surrounded by their tribe. Her words sparked a change in Sota. Back at home, the family had a long, open conversation. Ayako tearfully admitted she had put too much pressure on him and that she was more afraid of losing him than of him failing a test. Kana promised to be there for him, and Sota, for the first time, truly accepted their help. The Aokigahara forest, which had once represented an idealized escape for him, now stood as a powerful reminder, a reminder that true strength isn't found in solitude, but in the courage to be vulnerable and communicate openly with the ones you love. The moonlight now fully fills the room, and you slowly, gently close the old notebook. The fine dust that rises from the pages floats in the air for a moment before settling back down, like the spirit of a story finally coming to rest. It is a story of two young people from two very different sides of the globe who found the true meaning of honor and the unwavering power of hope in a forest where so many people saw only darkness and despair. Their journey has come to an end within these pages, but the journey of understanding and empathy that began there will continue on long after you turn the final page. Well, what did you think? The story of Maria and Sota, it really makes me think back to my own younger days. The pressures from society, from family, they can sometimes make us feel like we're standing on the edge of a cliff, teetering between our own personal dreams and the expectations of others. The good news is that in this story, Sota had Maria and Kana to pull him back. But in real life, a lot of people might not have that kind of support right there beside them. So maybe the most important thing we can learn is that an open and honest conversation, a simple "let's go home," can be a small but powerful light, helping to guide someone out of the dark forest in their own mind. It's a nice reminder that sometimes the most honorable thing we can do is simply ask for help. And with that, our journey into another strange story comes to a close. We hope you found our peek into the peculiar to your liking and maybe even shared a little smile with us. If you enjoyed this episode of the Otherworldly Stories, please remember to give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a thing. You can also share this story with a friend who appreciates a good mystery and a bit of a laugh. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, stay safe out there and keep an eye on the shadows.